Urban renewal is gaining attention in Malaysia. In 2020, the government plans to establish the Urban Renewal Act, URA, aimed to develop decayed buildings over 30 years old. The policy is expected to be tabled in Parliament by mid-2025, and according to the Minister of Housing and Local Government, the URA launched by KPKT is a strategic initiative aimed to revitalize the city centre, particularly in Kuala Lumpur. But before we go further, let's take a closer look on what is urban renewal and how does it relate to life cycle costs. The term urban renewal refers to a series of plan and action intended to improve neighborhoods that are currently distressed. Many commentators emphasize the importance of financial sustainability in urban renewal, and that's where life cycle costs or LCC become crucial. There is existing demand to adopt LCC practice in urban renewal, as LCC serves as an economic assessment technique that provides stakeholders and cost estimators with valuable total cost information. This will allow more accurate forecasts of renewal and future costs, which then result in better planning for maintenance, operation, and replacement throughout the urban renewal service life. But yet in Malaysia, the adoption of LCC in urban renewal is still at the rudimentary stage. Therefore, this study presents a proposed methodology to investigate the challenges in managing and optimizing the LCC in urban renewal project, as well as the appropriate strategies that can be recommended to improve the LCC practice in the Malaysian urban renewal project. At the same time, this methodology serves as a basis for answering the following study aims as shown in the slide. The study is also being conducted in response to the issues in urban renewal that relate to life cycle costs. First, many buildings in Malaysia are approaching the end of their functional lifespan, which is about 70 to 80 years, and most of these buildings are currently facing issues like fire risk and obsolete electrical wiring. Second, a lack of maintenance culture, where previous development cases like Razak mentioned in Sungai Besi and Perkeling flats in Kuala Lumpur illustrate the terrible state of this building prior to their demolition, such as leaky pipes and damaged wall. Next, poor planning of urban renewal project, where stakeholders only focus on the initial costs and neglect the future-related costs. The first issue is existing proposal for urban renewal failed to establish clear method for informing residents about possible expenses following renewal. For example, developers discussed the advantage of renewal in detail, but did not mention hidden expenses like higher maintenance fees for the new structure. And the last one, Malaysia falls behind other Asian countries by 30 years, as mentioned by the Minister of Housing and Local Government. He also added that the Malaysian property developer, Kemudahan, are driving Australia's biggest urban development project. So, this is the moment to utilize the knowledge of Malaysian developers to develop the urban renewal in our country. Hence, all of these issues emphasize the urgent need for urban renewal plans that incorporate life cycle costs. To achieve the study aim, the methodology is designed with a qualitative research strategy that combines literature review as a secondary data collection and semi-structured interview as a primary data collection. But since the research is still ongoing, the primary data collection has not been carried out yet. Okay, so why choose qualitative research strategy? Since the adoption of LCC within the Malaysia urban renewal is still limited, a qualitative research strategy allows a deeper and more thorough understanding of the cost factor of urban renewal in Malaysia. At the same time, qualitative research strategy provides insight into the experience and perspective of various urban renewal stakeholders whose actions have a direct impact on life cycle costs. Thus, a semi-structured interview is proposed to interview respondents who have established knowledge, skill, or experience in urban renewal and cost estimation. Their insight will add real-world value to the literature review and help identify both the challenges and strategies for improving LCC in a urban renewal project. And to choose the right respondent, the criteria include have qualification in the built environment, have several years of experience in urban renewal construction or cost estimation, have provided their thought or discussion or article or paper related to urban renewal or cost estimation, and lastly, willingness to support the study. As the research is still ongoing, the expected findings are aligned with the study's aim as mentioned earlier. These include identifying how urban renewal is practiced in Malaysia compared to other countries, the challenges faced by the government and stakeholders in applying LCC for cost optimization, and lastly, the strategies that can be recommended to improve LCC practice in Malaysian urban renewal project. Furthermore, it is expected that the findings will add value to the improvement of LCC practice in the urban renewal project in Malaysia, in line with the upcoming policy of the URA and the Construction Industry Transformation Program (CITP), where the CITP highlights sustainability and productivity as its main focus area. One of the ways to support this is by encouraging the use of LCC as a smart cost management tools. With LCC, we can plan better and make decisions that give long-term value throughout the whole life of a project. So, at the end of the day, a life cycle cost is not an option. It's a necessity for a sustainable urban change. Thank you for watching.